Hi, and welcome to example 2 on page 12 of the workbook. And here's another example of trying to find the equation of a plane. This time, the information that they're giving us is 3 points. We'd like to find the equation of the plane that goes through the following 3 points that we have here. Okay, and I'd like to start with a picture because I think that might help us in this particular situation. So let's start by drawing ourselves a set of axes here. Okay, and as always, you'll hear me apologize for this a lot. I'm not the greatest 3D artist, so I'll do my best here. Okay, I'm going to try to plot these 3 points. So 0, 0, 2, that's going to be right on the z-axis here. Okay, and then 4, 0, let's write the coordinates also. It'll make this easier to do. Okay, q is 4, 0, 0. Okay, and then y is... R is 0, 3, 0. Okay, so we want a plane that goes through those 3 points, and I'm going to connect the dots here. And what we're going to get is a triangle. And what we're actually seeing is just one triangular slice of this plane, okay, that appears where x, y, and z are all positive. You can imagine this plane continuing in all directions. We're just looking at one part of it here. Okay, well, how do we find an equation for this? Well, really the only way that we have up to this point in the course anyway to find the equation of a plane is, I'm going to just scroll back for a minute here, this formula, okay, that we came up with. Okay, the one that says that we can find the equation of a plane if we can find basically 3 pieces of information, the slopes in the x and the y direction and 1 point. That's what we need in order to find the equation we're looking for. Okay, well, notice that this is kind of set up to do that. Okay, if we focus first on the points P and Q here, okay, if you move along this segment between P and Q, you're going to get the slope of the plane in the x direction because you're moving parallel to the x-axis, if we highlight that. In other words, the y-coordinates are not going to stay the same. So the key to finding the slope in the x direction is to look at the slope along that line segment from P to Q. All right, so let's do that first. So that slope is going to be the change in z over the change in x. So we just need to, again, focus on that part of our graph, and if we do it, ask yourself, how much is z changing? Well, we're going from 2 down to 0, so our z value has decreased by 2. That's going to be a change of -2. And then how much does x change? Okay, well, if you focus on the x-coordinates, we go from 0 to 4, so we increased by 4, so our change in x is 4, and put that together, and we notice that we're getting a slope in the x direction of -1/2. Okay, and the key again was noticing that when we move along that segment from P to Q, we are moving parallel to the x-axis. That's the slope in the x direction. Okay, can we find the slope in the y direction? Okay, well, notice that that slope we can also calculate, but this time we need to focus on the part of our plane that goes parallel to the y-axis. That would be from here to here, from P to R. Okay, along that particular segment, x stays constant, and so we're moving in the y direction. All right, and so finding that slope is about measuring the change in z over the change in y. Okay, so from P to R, we're going from z equals 2 down to z equals 0. So again, that's a change of -2. How much is y changing along that segment? Well, y is going from 0 to 3. That's an increase of 3. And so we're going to get -2/3 as our slope in the y direction. Okay, so we're making good progress. We've got 2 big pieces of the puzzle here to finding the equation of a plane. What's the missing piece? Well, we also need a point, and the nice thing is we have points in abundance. Okay, they gave us points directly, and so we could choose any of these 3 points. I'm just going to pick the first one, 4, 0, 0. Okay, so that's a point on the plane. All right, maybe just to emphasize that down here. Okay, x naught, y naught, z naught is 4, 0, 0. That's a point on the plane. And we're ready to write the formula for the equation of the plane. Again, it looks like z equals z naught. I'm going from the previous page. Okay, and again, remember, these are just x naught, y naught, and z naught that we're looking at. So z naught is 0 plus m times x minus x naught, that's x minus 4, plus n, which is negative 2/3, times y minus y naught. Okay, there's our equation. Okay, and we can simplify it a little bit, so we don't need to write those zeros. This is going to simplify down to negative 1/2 x minus 4 minus 2/3 y. Okay, and there's our answer.